And we're live. I was trying to get my dog out of here, but she's not.
I think it's going outside soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that would make sense.
And this room's a socialist.
Oh, okay, because it's me, because I'm a big, strong
No, it's 'cause
girl.
Mom,
I'm a
you're
strong.
a weak
I'm a
girl.
strong girl. That's why my
You
dog
are a
doesn't want to
weak
leave
woman.
me. I'm a strong woman.
Weak woman.
Strong woman.
Weak woman.
Go away. I'm trying to.
That's what I've been told my entire life. No one loves me, guys. She hates me behind cameras. She hates me.
Wow. I don't even think anyone's here. I think they all left.
As they should.
Anyways. Oh, yeah. Over.
Don't put your social security number online, Anna.
Okay, I'll try not to put my social security number online. Thank you. Anyways, welcome to the show. I appreciate my people. Hello. Hey, Sean. Hey, myself. Hey, Woody. Love you. Anyways, so today we're going to do something that I like, which is we're going to talk about the two things. One is the whole war that everyone has on each other. And the second is we're going to talk about the actual issues around the world that are happening that could impact everyone, but everyone's kind of like sleeping. Let me just close a bunch of these things. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry. Close, close, close. Okay, cool. Let's go here. There we go. Actually, let's share this the other way. I wonder what channel I'm on. Yeah, I'm on both of them. Cool. Okay. Stop sharing. Present. Mm-hmm.
He had a temper. He was angry. He liked sports. He liked all these other things. He liked football. And then all of a sudden, when he's growing up, it's like, what the hell is going on to the country here? So he gets obsessed with capitalism. Von Mises, Hayek, Road to Serfdom, fully obsessed. He was a professor. He had all these rants on TV that he would do. And then eventually he runs for office and he becomes a president and gets invited to the institution, the organization that he criticized publicly, nonstop, World Economic Forum, and they're expecting him to go on stage and give an angry rant so Klaus Schwab can say.
So the reason I'm bringing this stuff up is because, let me actually bring it down because, strikes and whatnot. People are loving to say that not people, it's everyone's arguing, right? So you have men arguing against women and everyone's having this gender war. And meanwhile, everyone's having this gender war, everyone's completely asleep and not realizing the fact that oh, hey guys. Hey Bandit, sorry. Hey guys. Yeah. So sorry. I know I'm late. Anyways. So we have this gender war. We have women saying that men are the problem. We have men saying that women are the problem. Women are typically saying that men have been leaving them for generations, which I've done the research and it is backed, but it's not the reason that they think. When you look at it, men are actually trying to fix the problem. That's their way of fixing things. Not all men, but generally speaking from the psyche background. And women are picking from 20% of the dudes not knowing any better because they've been raised to believe that they're Princess Cinderella and like every man needs to take them to Morton's or something. It's weird. And there's no ability to stand up on your own. So we have a bunch of women picking for the wrong reasons. And the reason that this is important is because this is a distraction. You guys are arguing semantics of who's to blame when really what it comes down to is just high class, middle class, and lower class. And everyone that's been debating like Fresh and Fit, like Andrew Tate, these are all men that come from single father households, yet tell all of you why single father households are a bad thing. And they blame women for it. So essentially they're blaming their own mothers for having single father households, yet telling the world, sign up for my course, and telling them women are to blame and women, what do you bring to the table? Even though they do bring a lot and men bring a lot too. So if we know that that's a distraction, I wanted to play some stuff from my own motherland of Argentina. And Milei is the new president, and he is having how do I say this? Argentina was the #1 country in Latin America once upon a time, and it was as big of an export-import as New York. And there were 2 bases for people to go to as immigrants. It was New York or Argentina. A lot of people don't know that because socialism took over Argentina prior to the 1940s and, downhill from there. Argentina is a prime example of what happens with socialism and communism. And now that we have a new president coming in, he's making a lot of ruckus, if you will. He fired a huge portion of the cabinet and he also did the same for a huge portion of the propaganda media that there was, because it was all, one narrative. Very eerily similar to things that we see in other countries, not other countries. Anyways, let me go through the chat really quick before I start playing the video. Hold on. I am blind. Hi, Star. Both men and women are spoiled as hell. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that, Sean. Alfreda, hi, Bandit. Okay, so let's go ahead and play a little snippet. And I didn't even like this guy until recently, but he's been like doing this, and I'm like, I judge people based off of what they talk about and kind of where they put their foot in their mouth. And I like this guy now. I'm like, okay.
Look at this man. He's not under control. And he goes on stage and gives what the
Sorry.
hell is angry? He likes sports. He liked all these other things. He liked football. And then all of a sudden, when he's growing up, it's like, what the hell is going on to the country
Unless
here?
you
So
guys
he
pay me,
gets
I'm eating on
obsessed
stream.
with capitalism, von Mises, Hayek, Road to Serfdom. Fully obsessed. He was a professor. He had all these rants on TV that he would do. And then eventually he runs for office and he becomes a president and gets invited to.
This is the new president of Argentina that he's talking about. So the description he's giving you is Milei is just like off the like he just jumps off the band. He's very passionate. But he's in control of his emotions.
The institution, the organization that he criticized publicly, nonstop, World Economic Forum, and they're expecting him to go on stage and give an angry rant so Klaus Schwab can say, look at this man, he's not under control. And he goes on stage and gives a...
And this is what they do. They being whoever they are. They find people that are already fighting for something. They give them the opportunity to make a fool out of themselves because they pick people that are emotionally triggered. Very eerily similar to like how Fresh and Fit picks only 304s to go on their show because they're emotionally triggered and they can manipulate those kinds of women. But then anytime an actual woman goes on there and they're not with them, it's like, oh, it's a grift. Yours truly. I'm grifting now. God, I should open up a dating course. Uncle Guns, we're gonna start incorporating that simp hunter thing. I'm just gonna start pointing out all the fucking
message so beautiful direct, based on stats, data, history, silences everybody. It's 23 minutes. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to choose a couple parts of what he gave this speech up, which have all the data here. But he said a couple things that I want to talk about in this video, which is going to make you very proud as a capitalist to not let the state make you play defense, instead constantly play offense, simply based on a message that he gave. So if you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. So imagine in the 1800s, 95% of the world is living in extreme poverty. 1800. Everybody's trying to figure out what the hell are we going to do to get 95% of the world to not be controlled by the powerful government leaders that are putting their thumb on, you better do this or else. And everybody's poor and afraid, right? Just trying to take care of their wife and kids. And then the Industrial Revolution starts. Capitalism starts today, pre-pandemic, less than 5%. Extreme poverty worldwide due to capitalism. This is one of the things Javier Milei talks about. And he continues while he's giving these stats. And everyone's like, what is this guy talking about? You can't give.
I just want to like hopefully everyone's like on the same them. Exactly. It's them. Hopefully everyone's paying attention, because this is like
a message like this. And then he says this in front of everybody. He says, countries that have more freedom are 12 times richer than those that are repressed. The lowest percentile in free countries is better off than 90% of the population in repressed countries, meaning free market, free capitalism. He continues, poverty is 25 times lower and extreme poverty is 50 times lower. And citizens in free countries live 25% longer than citizens in repressed countries. So imagine to the audience you're giving a speech. So if you're giving a speech to an audience, like I remember being a financial advisor, I'm 21 years old, working on Morgan Stanley, dealing with a 22 years old, and I'm talking to an audience of 30, 65-year-olds. And I get up on stage and I say, imagine if one day you have a Ferrari, nice car, and you're traveling all over the world and you live in this big house. And I see nobody from the audience was interested in my message. And afterwards, my guy comes up and says, listen, why are you selling this to these people are not interested in your message? And they looked at me funny. They're like, they want a nice, slow car in a very small house with least amount of cleaning to do. They want the least amount of stress. This guy gets up in front of the audience of World Economic Forum and tells them, you guys are all full of shit, is what he said. He says, you're trying to control. The world is better without you guys getting in their way. Let them be free. Don't bother free people. Stop trying to control people, because this is the solution to being free and being healthy.
we're talking about a free market.
Here and getting rid of poverty, not some of the nonsense ideas that you have. He says it to their faces in the calmest tone, not the typical tone you hear Javier Milei in. Then he continues, because everybody says, all these companies going out of business, it's capitalism's fault. He says, wrong. It's impossible for there to be market failures. What does he mean by this? The market is not a mere graph describing a curve of supply and demand. The market is a mechanism for social cooperation where you voluntarily exchange ownership rights. Therefore, based on this definition, talking about a market failure is an oxymoron. There are no market failures. If transactions are voluntary, the only context in which there can be market failure is if there is coercion, and the only one that is able to coerce generally is the state, which holds a monopoly on violence. There is only monopoly with the government getting involved and creating regulation for all others. He's trying to say there is no such thing as market failure, and socialists and those who work for the state who want to overregulate everything can't stand that message.
So Milei basically went there with proof and proved what you guys are saying to the world, that the economy is down, that this is how it works, is a lie. It's a flat out lie. This is a president of Argentina that's saying this, and he's the #1 trending right now because of this. And this is something that, like, again, while everyone's talking about getting laid and like what 304s want, this is what's happening in the world. This is what everyone is like being asleep for. This is what y'all, and then not even 10 years from now, about 5 years from now, when the cost of groceries triples or quadruples, you're going to wonder why. How did we get here? What happened? Oh my God, I didn't know. You're going to be like the 304s.
They want all the blame to be on the capitalist. And then he continues to take shots at the states.
Because this is the other thing. I did grow up poor. So this kind of stuff I never understood it, because it was always so confusing. But then when you do the research and you understand the terminology, it gets really, really clear. So we have people now with it, cool thing that's happening right now is I don't think we've ever had more literate people, and knowledge is power. So this is what I now love to like talk about. It's not just like, okay, the human brain and how it develops and how our hormones impact us. It's more about, why are we talking about these things? What is it that we should be paying attention to? Because I, for one, am like, I was chasing like things that didn't really matter in my 20s, and now I'm like, dude, this is dumb. And y'all wanted me to like be married with a baby by now. This is the world that we live in. You guys want me to be married with a baby by now. Now, luckily, I have a choice. So like, I think I can still be married with a baby, but like, I feel bad for other people that can't.
And here's what he says. Today,
it's expensive, in case you didn't understand that. It's expensive.
States don't need to directly control the means of production to control every aspect of the lives.
Let me also explain to you how it is now in Argentina. Let me close this for a second, because I know I gotta like take breaks because copyright or whatever. Stop sharing. How do I? And I gotta check the chat. I'm sorry, but to understand Argentina, when I send money to someone in Argentina, they get about 40% of what I sent. So if I send them $100, they're going to get about $40 minus the transactional fees. That's the money coming out isn't from fees from the transaction. The money coming out is from fees from the government. Like, sorry. That's what happens with tax. I just wanted you guys to know that. And like when I did all my research, just take a little break here, I was trying to understand. I started in the manosphere and I started talking about like dating. And then after the dating, it was like, okay, now I understand why we are where we are. But when I did more research, you have to follow the money trail and the patterns, and everything in life is like the flower of life. It's just a pattern. If you can see that every time we have an economic crisis in a figmental country, the economy goes down theoretically, and then there's some sort of turmoil and crisis with the general public that creates a need for a solution, and the solution then being some sort of overseas activity that we're funding every couple years. At first it was like every 20 years and every 15 years and every 10 years. Now it's like every year. Now we've got like 3 going on overseas. And that's what gets us out of the economic crisis. I mean, hypothetically, there's this hypothetical economic crisis. It goes down. We're like, oh no, what do we do? And then this thing happens overseas that we're like, oh, we'll go fund that. And then our economy goes up because we're funding that. That's how we get out of it. That has been the pattern. A part of that pattern has been increasing figuratively and theoretically would be increasing the taxes. And you can kind of deduce logic here, unless you don't have critical thinking, to see what would happen to a country like Argentina, which is like, massive. It's wild. You know what I mean? Like Cuba, biggest import export of sugar. They have no sugar. Argentina has the most meat. We have no meat. There was another one. What is it? All of them. There's another one, the biggest importer, exporter of petroleum. They have no petroleum. This is all South America. And the reason that they were able to do that, because they inserted socialism and social justice first. They dominated that country, and then the economy went down, and let's go through the chat, and then let's go into the thingy-mabobber. Oh man. When I go to a channel, it shows I'm subbed. 2 other channels I wrench are live, and this is the only one that shows up. Really? Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I mean, on my end, it shows that no one's viewing. It says like no viewers. Oh, wait, it's 4 now. But anyways, I don't know what's going on. Wow. Yeah, I did call out the fall of the RP a couple years ago. That might be happening now. Not a couple years ago, last year. I don't know. I want to steal it too. Let's see. Hi. Oh my God, I didn't even put any music on. I'm sorry. I got so excited. Let's go back down here and let's put some music on. Damn. I've just been talking this whole time. Let me know if that's cool. Comments. Yeah, exactly. This is what is important, not Rolo, Georgie Boy Tomasi and their propaganda. And honestly, Star's the one that called it red pill propaganda, and that's what it is. It's a bunch of red pill propaganda to get you guys to hate each other so that you're distracted and hating each other. You know, hormones are going to do what they're going to do. You can only hate for so long. You're going to end up like fresh and end up with a baby mama. Like what you say you don't want, so what you're going to end up getting. Hey, I don't know who this is, but I appreciate all the videos you've been tagging me in. I don't like to be in the wars, if you will. So, but it's appreciated. Trippy Cat, nice to have you here. Hello, Daniel. Star is very hot, I know. Hello, Arctic. I don't know what you mean by simps. Maybe, are you a simp? I've never had a girl simp. I mean, I don't have guy simps either because we all self-respect ourselves here. But you know, I mean, whatever. Yeah, he does a good breakdown. He does have an MLM kind of format, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like I looked at it, he's got an MLM format, but it's whatever. I do like his podcast, and he has YouTube is. Oh wow. I mean, maybe people are affected. I don't know. Maybe it's a cyber attack. Not just you, same here. Shows 1 viewer on my end and 0 likes. Having issues switching account. Yeah, there's some. Look, guys, I mean, there might be something wrong. Uncle Guns, I will not forgive you if you're not here because, you know, it's you. I love you, though. I'm just kidding. Oh, it's Spicoli. Got it. Thanks, Spicoli. Nice to see you. It's a mean troll. Got it. Okay. That's why they were talking about simps, because they are a simp and they have nothing better to do. Understood. Okay. Let's go back here. I think we talked enough.
Of individuals. The states use tools such as printing money, debt, subsidies, controlling the interest rate, price controls, regulation to correct so-called market failures. Does that remind you of any country?
That's
maybe
wild.
the freest country in the world at one point, maybe the greatest country in the world. Does that
Shut up. I don't know what you're talking about. That's a theory.
the state uses to destroy the economy rather than getting out of the way? And last but not least, he gives a direct message to all the business people around the world, which I love. Here's what he says. Do not be intimidated by the political caste or by parasites who live off of the state. Don't be intimidated by the people that live off of the state because they make you feel guilty. Do not surrender to a political class that only wants to stay in power and retain its privileges. They get to live their life by pulling a card and saying, I'm a senator, I'm a congressman, I'm a president, I'm president's son. Wink, this is okay. Let me do this. If you do this, I'll do this for your father. I'll do this with my father. All this stuff. He says, do not surrender.
He literally found that there were so many family members in the Argentine government that were just cousins and siblings that had just hired each other so that the whole family could be making money. It's wild. If theoretically there's other countries out in the world far, far away from me that do that too.
Surrender to a political class that only wants to stay in power and retain its privileges. It's like a membership you have to a country club. You get to go in if you have that card. The political class doesn't want to give up that membership. They want to control, because a lot of weird benefits comes with this card that they have, such as insider information that I get to invest into certain companies that you don't get to do. I won't go to jail, but if you do it, you would go to jail. That's called political class. You are social benefactors. What does it mean? It's not the government that makes the society a better place. You do by creating jobs. You do by starting a business that maybe competes.
And this is why I really like Generation Z, because they literally saw the system and were like, oh, we don't like it. This isn't working. There's no, what do they say? There's like no longevity. They don't have a retirement plan. The retirement plan that's implemented currently, they will never get to see any benefits. I will never get to see any benefits for the retirement plans that I paid taxes for. And they saw the system and decided we're not partaking in it. So I love, like, I have hope with these kids.
It's against the guy.
They're not listening to anybody. They're like, Kate, sprinkle, you know?
Across the street because your coffee is cheaper, your burger's cheaper, your service is better. You are the social benefactor. You make the world a better place, not the government.
What I'm teaching is quality over quantity now. We went into a over boom of like creating quantity, and people are desperate for quality. Our food doesn't taste good anymore, hypothetically. You know what I mean? Our clothes has plastic in it, hypothetically. Our water.
You are the heroes. I've been talking about the biggest problem in America the last 4 years is the hero-making machine we have in America. Kids have no clue what hero to look up to. Do I look up to that person that's a guy dressed like a girl? Do I look up to this person? Who the hell do I look? I don't know who to look up to because we're confused. No, job creators. You work your ass off. You're a hero. This is not easy. It's very, very hard. You work day and night doing what you're doing. Capitalists. For some of you that are executives, working for a company, helping to grow, you're working on a Saturday, late at night, you're putting up a plan together. It's not easy. You are a hero to society. You make sure companies stay around to keep those jobs for people that are making $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year, $150,000 a year, and for the customers that are buying the product. You are the hero. Not enough people are recognizing you. He's saying it, very aligned message with what Valuetainment stands for, because you make the world go around, and we salute you. You are the creators of the most extraordinary period of prosperity we've ever seen. You. Let no one tell you that your ambition is immoral. Oh, you're too ambitious. Why do you do this? What else do you need? How much more money do you need? How many more cars? Why do you care? It's none of your business, buddy. Let me live my life and go do it. Why are you making me feel guilty about it? Don't let anybody make you feel guilty about your vision.
Like, if one of the things that you'll know if you start a business on your own is you'll see people that you thought they'll like, I got you. And they'll be like, oh yeah, you and your little business, or you and your little thing, or you and your little side thing. Or that's not even one of it. The bigger one is when you do start making a bigger impact or making more money or changing, people will start to say things like, oh, you think you're better than now, or oh, you think you're so-and-so now. And you should say, yeah, absolutely. You put in the effort, you put in the time, you put in the work, you change. And people that are limited in their mentality, will call it like a chameleon or a multi-thing. It's called being multifaceted. It's called growing. It's called development, behavioral development, cognitive development, business development. You know what I mean?
You pursue your vision that matters to you and your family. If you make money, it's because you offer a better product at a better price, thereby contributing to better
product at a better price. And something that isn't talked about in this is people buy based on who they trust. If you have a good message and you're trustworthy and you're consistent, you build your own audience and everything. It's trust.
Well-being. Go make your money. Just make sure you're doing it legally, but go make your money. Do not.
Here's another thing about the whole legal thing. I don't know if anyone's ever heard, but it's like, if the government is ever giving you free money, don't take it. It's not free. That's the theoretical, hypothetical fairy tale I heard once upon a time. And hypothetically, theoretically, there's a bunch of cages that like were built, and like hypothetically, theoretically, the like loans that were given out, there's a bunch of people that like went in those cages, hypothetically.
Not surrender to the advance of the state. The state is not the solution. The state is the problem itself. You are the true protagonist of this story, And rest assured that as from today, Argentina is your staunch and unconditional ally. You know why I love this? Last night we're having dinner at the house and we have all our C-suite executives here. One of the things we do is when it comes down to hiring a C-suite, the last thing I like to do is I want to meet your spouse. I want to meet your husband or your wife. And last night everyone's at the house. We have dinner.
Here's the thing about cheating, right? Everyone loves to talk about like, oh, I have multiple women. People that do business don't like doing business with multiple women. That means you're not disciplined. If you cheat on your spouse, you're going to cheat on me in business. If I do a deal with you, but you screw over the person you sleep with, whether you're a man or a woman, you are not a trustworthy person. You don't have integrity within yourself, let alone the person you're seeing every single day. That's sociopathic. You know what I mean? That's something's missing. So, and people think, oh, it's only in a relationship. No. If that happens in the relationship, it'll happen in business and it'll happen in friendships. If it happens in friendships, it'll happen in business, it'll happen in relationships. If it happens in business, it'll happen in the other two.
Dinner. Our executives brought their spouses, and this new C-suite executives that we're looking at hiring.
As a matter of fact, there was a guy that Elon Musk was trying to do business with. I can't remember who, and he was like, "How do you not have a wife? You haven't been able to keep one?"
Is there with his wife, and we're going back and forth having the conversation. We're talking to one another, and in the middle of the conversation, I asked, "So, what do you think about what we stand for as a company? What questions do you have for me? What challenges do you have? I would much rather know to see if this is a fit or not." And I said, "How do you feel about the fact that we do what we do politically, and we're pretty loud about does that kind of bother you?" No. What about this? And then eventually, the more and more we opened up about what the company's values and principles are, conversation led to the following. So I think it's important where I stand with this. What's that? I said, there is many decisions you can make when you make money. One of the things you can do is make your money and be cool and take that money to go out there and benefit from it, enjoy a peaceful life, relax, kick back, don't do anything else. Don't be too rowdy, because you're afraid if somebody's going to watch you a little bit too much with your money. And you have less target, less any of that stuff. And who cares if they're doing what they're doing at schools? Who cares if they're trying to confuse your kids? As long as your kids are going to be okay, you're going to be all right, right? I said, a lot of people take that position. And why do they take that position? Less controversy, less conflict, more peaceful, less being in a tension mode. Maybe they won't get your kids and confuse your kids, but maybe they'll get your grandkids. And definitely they're going to get your great-grandkids. Are you okay with that? And I said, I'm not. I'm simply not. So what is happening to the world today? You know what's happening to the world today is people like Javier Milei are being born in times like this. By the way, prior to a year ago, did you know who he was?
And it's not just Milei. It's like every South American president that we're getting is like, yo, we're trying this. Yo, we're trying this. Yo, Africa is having its own thing. It's every third world country is rising up. And I can't help but notice that there's other countries that seem to be falling down.
Maybe I had no clue who he was. You do now. What happened? What changed? Because there's a conflict, and the state and the people who are, these powerful people, the elites are trying to control what decisions you need to make. And all of a sudden he comes and says, no. Hey, maybe the state, you got to take the vaccine all the time. RFK comes and says, no, got to argue this. Say, hey, we got to go sometime. No. Like, whoa. I thought I was a bad person. I thought I was dumb. I thought I was dumb. I'm not. I mean, these guys are making me realize what decisions I'm making. I'm not the only person that's going through this. And then eventually you have to make a decision for yourself. What part of the camp are you going to be? You're going to be the camp that's going to be the quiet, timid one, or you're going to join the different camps to become more and more and more powerful? Because the reality...
I just had to pause it for this little hypothetical, theoretical comment. Are we talking about the cages that they claimed were child cages? Yeah, we're talking about the theoretical fairy tale cages that people made up in their head.
More people out there that are willing to defend you and give you respect and love that you deserve for the hard work you're putting in. You're not alone. Sometimes you feel like you're alone. You're not alone. There's many of us, and we're finding each other. It's the most beautiful thing. You know what I love about our annual conference that we do, Vault Conference? We do this.
I don't know. Now he's going into propaganda and of his own stuff, which I'm here for. I love the hustle. Love it. Just not on my dollar, because I'm not sponsored by him, and I love him. But anyways, I'm going to open up the panel a little bit, and then we're not doing anything crazy today. I'm here at my mom's in LA. You see my little birthday balloon because I'm now 33. I am 3 years over the wall, guys. 3 years over the wall. I'm still alive. I'm still surviving. Anyways, I'm going to open up the panel. If anyone would like to come on, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to keep on going through these comments, though, because tickle, tickle like the nipple. Exactly. Yeah, it's the path of least resistance. Your survival instincts finally kicked in. We're not doing the gender war here, bro. Like, if anything, I've literally said anyone that has fallen for the gender war that thinks women are the problem or that thinks men are the problem, you're a zombie. You've listened to too much Tate, too much Sprinkle, too much everything. And the research shows that both people are hurt. Both the women have been brainwashed to believe that all men are evil and that men want to use you and abuse you and will take you for all you got, even though, you know, you'll take an inch if we let you. But that's always been known, you know what I mean? In at least in my experience, men have typically wanted to still protect, even if they don't like a woman, because they're like, still a woman. It's only been like the really, really ghetto men that they're like, no, we're going to slap a bee and we're going to do this. And the reason for that is, again, if you listen to the rest of my channel, it's on hormones. They have hormones like a woman. And so they compare themselves to a woman. It's the same thing as a woman that compares herself to a man, the hormones. So yeah, we don't do that. It's all about like the solution. And I don't agree with this either, because in case you didn't realize, home dog, like, I'm literally Latin. I'm Latin. I already know it's you. Hi.
What's going on?
I didn't shield. That's what the I already know it's you was. Not that it's you. Dude, what did you think?
It's good.
And P Fletch 83, you are more than welcome to come on, and I would love to get to know you. Dude, isn't it wild though?
It is.
Like, he literally said it's not true to the whole public, and people don't realize that's literally what's trending is Milan, because he's exposing the World Economic Forum, not just.
Well, the thing is, he's the first libertarian president of any country. So Argentina, you went hard right for the first, like, and it's an accomplishment because it's the first time ever that someone of a third party has won in a major election. This is not a Democrat. This is not a Republican. This is a third party won. So this is huge.
Mm-hmm. It's massive. It's a statement for the rest of the world that it's possible.
Yeah, and they're scared shitless, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. That's why I did it on, like, it's. Look, everything that I'm doing is just I like seeing people together, and the trends. Sorry, I'm burping. I keep telling you guys the trends are. He's kind of close with it. The one thing that he missed out on was, I wish I could play the scene from the Ants movie without it getting taken down. But there's a scene in the Ants movie where the cricket tells that, like, they like are used to using the ants as slaves for food. And the cricket lets like a ball of food hit one of the crickets. And he's like, does that hurt? And the cricket's like, absolutely not. It's a baby ant. But then he lets like a big bag of food, like 100 of these, fall on the crickets, and it just pummels them. And he's like, what you guys don't seem to realize is when one little thing stands up, we have to squash it because it's a reminder to the rest of them. And if one of them stand up, all of them stand up. That is real power. And everyone has this big harp on power. They don't realize the more united you are, whether it's with your family, whether it's with a group of people, that's power. When you're by yourself, you're weak as, you know what I mean?
You are weak, but you're also the most free too, and freedom has a cost. So,
Go ahead.
like for example, if you lived on a farm by yourself in the middle of nowhere, you have the ultimate freedom, but you also have the ultimate responsibility. If no one there, you have no safety net, no one's trying to save you. Something bad happens, you're on your own. So you have the ultimate freedom, but at the same time, you have the ultimate responsibility. They go hand in hand. Freedom and responsibility is hand in hand.
Yes, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, though, is that freedom is a responsibility. You're not just supposed, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you can't have freedom without responsibility. You can't have responsibility without freedom. They go hand in hand. So,
Right.
and the antithesis of freedom is basically slavery. So anybody that takes your freedom away is trying to be your slave master.
Well, but wouldn't you say that, like, and I'm going to say it this way because I didn't play the whole speech, but he really talks about talking about the freedom of speech was one thing, but then we had the social justice warriors, and the social justice warriors created this platform of cancel culture. When that cancel culture came into play, what people don't realize is it does actually affect the economy, because eventually people are so scared to do anything. You have rules and regulations for everything, and that's when the taxes come in, because you have all these programs that you need to fill.
Yeah.
And then by the time you look at it, you're like, where'd the money go? This is hypothetical, theoretical, by the way.
Well, the thing is, it comes down to two things. If the purpose, one side of the argument believes in, if you want to take the extremes, because the extremes will explain everything else. The one side of the extreme would be ultimate freedom, ultimate responsibility, and which also is individualism. Another coincide with freedom is individualism, meaning I get to express the way I want to express. I get to do what I want. If I'm not harming you, then I can express the way I want to express. The opposite of that is slavery, and in genres that we'll just say dronism, where everybody is asexual. We all look the same. We all are just drones in a machine, and that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to take every individual thing that makes you who you are and turn you into a drone. One side wants to do that, and the other side wants to make you free.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. I mean, at the same time, it's like I used to get upset about it, and then after a while, I kind of looked at it again, and I was like, you know what? If you really look at it, the people that are on YouTube or on social media or whatever, like the social justice people or the little keyboard warriors, or even people that are just like flat out right having these conversations too, it's really hard to find people that don't have a certain agenda that ends up doing more harm than good. And I think that's what what he's talking about too. Like, people don't know who to look up to anymore.
Well, the problem is everything is there's two major problems. Everything is hyper monetized, which basically means that everything, I can't say what I want, because if I want to have this deal, I have to promote something, and my freedom of choice is taken away. So if for example, if I'm having a channel and they want to sponsor me with headphones, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I might get $500 for those headphones, but then now that I'm reading ads, I can't say what I want, because what happens if I say something against this headphone company? That wouldn't go well for me.
True, but go ahead.
So it's these little compromises that you do over a while, and eventually that turns into you losing your freedom. That's why I don't accept money on streams or anything, because it will eventually end up being that I'm going to lose credibility, and I'm going to lose the ability to say what I want, because at some point I become the product. And if I become the product, then I can't say what I want to say. I would be able to say what I want to say, and I don't want to be having to, circumvent things by having to speak around things.
Well, I do have to say that's part of the stream here is that, like, I mean, anybody that's Uncle Guns has been here the longest, and it's always been like what I like to hear the opposite ideas and perspectives, because I don't think that we can learn unless we get different perspectives. You know what I mean? I think
Yes.
if everyone agrees, it's just boring. But it's about how you deliver it, how you have the conversation if you're trying to learn. But more on what you're talking about in sponsorship and losing yourself. I love that you're talking about that because it's really prevalent. I feel like a lot of people believe that that's the end all be all when you reach a certain level of success or fortune or whatever. And it's not. It has, because this is what I'm really passionate about, is I wanted to have it all. I wanted to have money, freedom, and good relationships. I want to get married once and have children. I don't want to get divorced and all of that stuff. And so I've worked really, really hard on understanding myself and relationships. And part of that has been researching and studying like the greatest of all time and the richest and the wealthiest and the CEOs of stuff. And what I've noticed a pattern with, there's certain people, like you said, that we as human beings will get the deal and everything, and we will little by little essentially sell our beliefs in exchange for monetary value because, sponsorship. Yeah. We have to be careful what we say. What I'm trying to say is we are now, that has been true forever. What is happening now is another trend that's changing significantly. You are having, it's kind of like in the 90s when we had Pamela Anderson and Kid Rock being like it was like the height of the Baywatch and like, oh my God, they're so hot and everything. And then what happened? It went whoop and it went whoop. And then Pamela Anderson was a joke. Kid Rock is a joke. The whole thing was like, whoa, what happened? And that's what's happening now. So you're going to have more philosophers coming out. You're going to have more critical thinkers. You're going to have more people standing up to the social justice warriors. You're going to have more people. And it's exactly what he was just talking about. Because you have more people doing that, you're also going to have less people selling themselves for monetary value. They're going to be able to hold on to their brand and their reputation. Because again, when I study the richest of all time, the things that they value the most is not money. It's actually
money's a means to an end.
We talked about it. It's legacy, it's reputation, it's who do you know, how do you conduct yourself, are you chaotic, are you clean, how's your record? I mean, are you good at making money, are you good at relationships? All of those are what is important, and it comes down to legacy.
But all that can be summed up in one word. It's connections. Because if you think about it, money's a means to, in any sense, money is connections at some point. So you're either doing a product or service, and you're serving someone else. Legacy is serving someone else. Everything is service.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a sense, if you're going to be the best, either relationships, money, legacy, you have to be best at making connections with people. That's all it is. It's connections with people at some point. Because making a deal is, in a sense, a connection. I'm offering this, you offer that. Let's compromise. It's still, you still gotta, it's still gotta have the connection.
It took me a second to catch up. Sorry, I was processing still. Data malfunction.
So the whole thing is, the better you learn how to serve others, the better you're going to be at business, the better you're going to be at relationships, better you're going to be at legacy, the better person you're going to be.
Well, and I try to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And the issue with the whole thing is everybody wants to be about me, me, me. If you flip it on its head, life gets easier. It's when you get away from serving yourself to serving others, then, because look at Milei. Anybody that's in a leadership role knows that it's not about him. It's about what he can do for his country.
Right.
He's sacrificing himself and potentially getting assassinated. Do I want it to happen? No. But
it's so bad.
No, but I'm just saying I have to give him props for how, like,
controlling his emotions.
He's going on a limb for a lot of things, and he's taking on the chin for his country.
Yeah.
And I
Not
have to
just
give him.
no, it's not even his country, it's the world. That's what
Yeah.
people don't understand. He's taking it on he's like, yo, dog, right here in front of everyone. He's the first example we've ever had in history doing this. And that's going to be a domino effect. It's
why everyone
already a
wants to take him
domino
down.
effect. It's already a domino effect. But here's the thing. If they know they can't, because if they do, that's going to create more of an uproar. That's going to create more
they'll
of
turn him into a martyr.
exactly,
can't do that.
exactly. But that's and I told you guys I do face readings, right? So let me actually pull up Malay's face because I love doing this. Malay. Sorry, I'm being weird. No, I'm not sorry. And every president we've had before this has been like literally a crook. The last president, the woman, they tried to kindly unalive her like 20 times. She's like a cockroach.
I'm not surprised.
Okay, so this is going to be an unbiased face reading. As biased as I am, I'm going to be completely unbiased.
Oh, Anna Star wants to know she should come up.
I said always to her.
Okay.
I literally said bish always. No, I am. Yes, I am. Never mind. I make jokes about too many things. Scientifically speaking, yes, I believe that people like Buddha and Jesus were real home dogs, but I believe that they were trying to teach us what is possible with the human body and what we are actually capable of. I'm not actually religious, and I did grow up Catholic. I really love. I'm Mexican. Where's Star? Here, I don't know if I'm dropping the link. I'm sorry, baby. I'm like, where's Star? But there's no link. Anyways, also it's 1N. Not, wait. Yeah, 1N, baby. 1. Not 2. That's Anna. I'm technically Anna. You know what I mean? Or in white people language, it would be Anna.
Anna.
Anna. Whatever.
Now the thing is, did you hear the news that he did this week? Malay,
no.
What he fired 70,000.
Yeah, no, I know.
Employees.
That's what I was trying to explain. Not just the government employees, the propaganda news outlets. I got you, babe. I'm gonna pull you up. I don't know if you want to show your camera or not.
No, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Hi.
What? Oh my god, your hair's so pretty.
Thank you.
Sorry. I was like, hey. Damn, I didn't even get ready. I hate you.
Dude, all I did put some eyeliner and lipstick on. It was it. My hair was already like this.
Yo,
Here, I'll join you. I need some junk.
But yeah, no, it's he did that to not only the cabinet, but he also did it to the news outlets, the reporters, the because they were all they're all speaking one narrative. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Wow.
And the other thing that's more important is first time in 12 years that they had a balanced budget, which United States haven't had a budget done in like 12 years, let alone a balanced budget.
Right. So. Oh, not just that, but he also was like, he's taking he's like, he know the marketing. Listen, he's a smart man. The marketing, he's taking public transportation. He's taking public planes, commercial planes. He's saying he's showing people what he's paying himself, which is damn near nothing compared to everyone else has been paid. And he's said, if I mess up the economy, I will cut off my right arm. He said it on national television. It's just the you know why I'm single? You know why I'm single? Because no one has balls anymore. That man has balls. Beautiful balls.
Are we talking about the Argentina guy? The president? Yeah, he does. He's got balls, yeah.
You know what he reminds me of?
Beautiful balls.
Keanu Reeves a little bit. He's on the train all the time.
I wouldn't go that far, bro. I love you for it, though. Oh. Okay, can you guys see the monitor?
I do. I see it.
Actually, that's not a good picture. I need a full front.
Dude's gonna bring
face.
mutton chops back into style.
Oh my
Bro,
God, he is,
you're-
isn't he?
He's trying. Please, dear God, no. He's like acting like it's 1976 or something.
No,
He's
more
What?
like
You don't want
being
some
a
ACDC
rock
Elvis
star.
chops?
No, it's disgusting. It looks like pubic hair on its ears.
They're
Yeah,
earworm.
yeah, Trippy. I'll put more stuff in my mouth later. Okay. Dear God.
So I was reading the comments and it's like, Star, holy, everyone else is drooling over you too.
Nah. They tell me I'm sub 4.
They told me I was sub 5.
Really?
Yeah.
What a bunch of assholes.
I'm Grandma, bro. My name is literally Grandma Monkey Lips.
Grandma Monkey Lips.
You
You
didn't
got
know
great
that?
lips.
I used to have filler, so they called me Grandma Monkey Lips. It was wild. But it
People
still
are just
wasn't.
mean.
Whatever.
They're
I was
mean.
bullied. I was a fat kid that was bullied, so they didn't know that I already have a thick skin. Dumbasses.
No, I was bullied.
I think we all
I
were.
think most of us are, actually.
Yeah. I think so too. I think our era was. I need front face. How do I do this?
Do close up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you.
Yep. That's what I get paid to do.
Because I need him smiling without glasses.
Then type in smiling without glasses close up.
That would be a smart. Listen, I'm really smart in some ways. Okay, this is not apparently one of them.
Hey, Joe Tahoe joined us too. Hey,
Oh,
Joe.
It's Jay. Wait, where?
Betamax or who's that? You knew. Join, subscribe, and like.
Jay should have already. Oh, you mean on here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jay's the homie. He's one of the only people I'm like, well, I don't know why more people don't listen to him. He's the only one that's married. Got married after his frontal lobe was developed, him and his wife. So statistically speaking, they're probably going to end up married forever. And like
Good.
a lot of people like to harp on that on Jay. And it's like, dude, y'all are dumb and lonely in a closet by yourselves, wanking off.
Yeah, P. Fletch, she is adorable and she's super smart and fiery, and she can light people's ass on fire on streams. So stay tuned, it's coming.
Okay, so
I mean, there's pictures of him smiling with glasses, but
here we go. There we go. This is what I needed. So can you see my mouse and where I'm pointing to?
Yeah, his
Okay,
hair.
perfect.
What are we doing? Faces?
Yeah, I'm doing a face reading
Oh, sweet.
because I love doing this. So right, left, yeah. So he has a lot of awareness. As I always tell you guys, the left side is what we give ourselves, meaning what we feel about ourselves, how we love ourselves, the awareness we have within ourselves. The right side is always the love we give other people, the awareness we have outside of ourselves, etc. So this man has a lot of awareness. No dimples. I always look out for dimples because dimples tend to be people pleasers. They have a tendency to I want to it's just dimples. His eyes are give him away. So even if he tried to pretend that he was this cool, chill guy, his eyes are very predatorial, extremely predatorial. Don't fuck around and find out. His nose, when you see it dip like this, it's someone that's determination. I always think of anteaters. They're just looking for the little ants. It's funny. My sister used to call me anteater. The eyebrows are good, but they're a little hairy, which is a little frazzled. So he has outside of the box ideas. His lips are the ones that are interesting because typically when you have, I call it snake lips. When you have people that have see how it kind of dips right here, kind of like a beak.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of a snake because they have manipulation tendencies. So typically they feel like they need to manipulate in order to win, which is perfect for his political office. Because if you do not have that, you're a plant. If you cannot play chess, you're a plant. Also, another thing that people don't understand: this guy was he was a college economics teacher for 10 years before he ran for president. Just FYI. This is well-rounded. So when you have chins that are well-rounded, they're doers. And as you see with me, that's kind of why I have some like, I'm going to stream. I'm not going to stream. I'm going to stream. Because I have a tendency to like things to be a perfect way before I go into something. Just square. His is very round, which tells you he's like a go-getter and doer. But he does have a lot of love. And that's what I like to look for, because when you have the bubble right here and the bubble right here, again, this is the love he gives people. This is the love he gives himself. So obviously men, I've always said, are a lot more depleted on their left side than women typically, generally speaking of the public. They're like sacrificial lambs, like I sacrifice for you. So they're usually very depleted on this side. So altogether, he's a very well-rounded individual. He's definitely a doer. He has manipulation tactics. He's extremely influential. These nasal folds over here are influence lines. Sacrificial lamb, again, going with what I'm saying, I sacrificed for you. So as long as everyone appreciates him, he'll keep going. And I can see his hairline is all the way up to here. It's not about the balding. It's more about the protruding and the face balancing. So because he's pretty, how do I say this? He's actually pretty balanced. It tells me that he's balanced all around. And when he's thinking, he's an extremely intelligent person. But when he's thinking, he makes decisions rationally rather than chaotically, which is a great example of how he went on the economic forum and was able to, like I said, complete control of his emotions, just spitting facts. But what you guys want to see, especially with this part, is a level of awareness. So when you have these parts back here, that's awareness. This is awareness within yourself. So sometimes you'll see someone else with like a crooked smile too. That's like, you know what I mean? Like that. It's because they usually lack awareness within themselves. Anyways, so altogether, my judgment is off of face readings. He's pretty chill, except for that fucking hair. It's just... Oh, wow. I didn't see Trippy Cat. Hey, I already know you guys are here. That's why I'm not...
It does kind of look like his hair is eating his face.
Right? It's the hair. It's not even... Look, we can bring back the like little thing, but it's the oh.
Hang on. What does my face say?
It says that you are a starving skeleton.
Aww. I mean, what does it say though in like clown language?
Bro, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I just saw your do me next.
Well,
so what do you guys think?
Off my head.
What do you guys think so far?
I think you're right on. I mean, look where he's at. Something's got to be dead on.
I have no idea. I kind of get the vibe off of a lot of people that they're trying to be their country's Donald Trump.
It's a good possibility. That's a good possibility.
Honesty. I love honesty. I always welcome honesty. Thank you. He does. Maybe that's why I don't like the hair, because it looks so like Trumpy hair.
Crazy.
Like if Trump lost like 40 years. I don't know. They say that Trump had this one hair realignment surgery where it's like they cut down the middle of your scalp and then they sew the two sides together. And I'm like, you know what? I could see that actually being why his hair's like that.
I actually dated a guy one time, and I remember like I touched his head and I felt that, and I didn't know what it was.
Oh shit! He's like, I'm made out of two different people.
And you felt the whole line going across?
Yeah, it was so scary. I felt bad.
Oh my god! Did you call him Frankenstein?
No, I didn't say
I was just thinking that.
I didn't say, bro. I didn't say. What am I gonna say? In the day and age, I had filler. You know what I mean? And like to me, I get it with the baldness because it's such a judgment that women go on. That I would like. Why would I say that's just rude? It's like a girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought. Anyways, he looked good. I dated him.
Well, there we go.
Come under the comments, so I was just waving to the audience.
Oh yeah, I'm going. We gotta get.
It's definitely a bit eccentric.
Oh no! Thank you. No, thank you. I'm sorry, love.
Oh god, I don't know who that is. But I'm guessing it's bad.
It's not bad. It's just not the style of. He has an issue with women, and people haven't noticed this. But every time Ganstar loves to go after women, and he loves to say, "I'm gonna do this to her," and I'm gonna. He's gay. He's literally a homosexual on here, and trying to beat up on women. All like even women that Torsha I like. The other women that he's gone up against, I don't like. And every time he's like, even with me, he's like, I'm gonna get Minka. Why? I try to tell him the truth. I'm like, bro, that's why you're not getting laid for 2 years. You say it's a choice. That's not a choice. 2 years is not a choice. That's you're a homosexual and like you're obsessed with your looks and you want to go after women, and I'm not gonna be one of them. I'm sorry, just a guy. But that's
why is he in shape?
I don't know. He says he is, and he's like shows, no, he is in shape. I'm lying. He's definitely in shape. It's just, you know, those skinny dudes that get muscle and they're like, I'm hot. He reminds me of one of those dudes because they never let go of their insecurity of being the scrawny dude that no one picks. They never let it go. They could be as hot as possible. They could live their life and they will never let it go. And that's what Ganstar keeps on showing to me because he keeps going after women. It's weird. It's really weird. Go after men, bro.
I got a friend that only works out his arms. So like he's got these big arms on a really skinny torso. And we call him Popeye. I call him Popeye right to his face.
Don't forget gym leg day at the gym, guys.
He doesn't even know what torso day is. Like he doesn't do nothing. He's just really, really skinny in the torso, but his arm, well, at least like high school age, his arms were really big.
Let me shield really quick because I don't know Starving Autist.
I know that guy.
He's with him.
Yeah,
he's okay. He's fine.
I'm going to say that, and he's going to come on here and embarrass me. That's what he's going to do.
That's perfectly fine. Starving Autist, I just want you to voice verify if you could, please.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Hello,
Poppet. Who did that?
Hello, love.
Hello, Moto.
Hello, Governor.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. This guy got it. We're going to put a star next to your comment for that one guy. He goes, I can do whatever the hell I want style. It's true though.
It just looks like the wind's blowing on his back his entire life.
This is some like early mid 70s punk rock hair. Just I don't give a hair. You know?
This is like 70s like business wear.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is pre-punk. It's more like the mods and rockers kind of thing, with the suits and the.
This is like late 90s, early 2000s glam rock, like glam emo. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Is that the guy? Is that the guy from Fall Out Boy?
I was gonna say, okay, go.
Sad. This is what
I was
my
gonna say,
hair was
okay,
like.
go, but the guy's retired. You know.
This is what my hair was like. One day I'm going to do like a little thing when I was like 15. I like was super emo. I told my sister I'm going to do that on stream and like so she can troll me. It's bad. It was bad. It was just like that.
Girl trolling?
What did you say?
Girls troll.
Girl trolling?
Oh my God. My mom is the biggest troll of all trolls. Yeah. What do you mean?
I don't know. I feel like girl trolling would be like, your hair looks a little out of place.
Bro, you don't know how ruthless bitches are. Oh my God.
Yes, I do. I've been married.
They're mean. They're ruthless. They're not going to say, oh, I don't like your hair. They're going to be like, hey, I noticed that you had a little insecurity. It came from when you were 5 and I want to exploit it. Yeah, you little munchkin. Like they will your.
Well, there's something to be said for the fact that, you know, it's when it comes to parents and kids, it's mama's boy and daddy's girl. Because they're the ones that are supportive to the alternate gender. Like mothers rip their fucking daughters apart, and that's what dads do to their boys because they're trying to toughen them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my favorite part about it is like you got a little boy and you're the dad and you got the stove on and the boy's about to touch the stove. You're like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah.
The mom will be like, "You're gonna get hurt. Don't do that." And the guys will be like, "Just go ahead, find out what it feels like."
Yeah, I gave my kid a fucking paper clip to stick in the light socket. You want to know what it feels like? Go ahead.
And you're like, "Oh yeah, you know what? It's your fault that the power went out."
Okay, my mom taught me well. That's all I'm gonna say. She didn't let me stick a needle in a
Last time you'll do that.
Listen, I'll tell you what, he only did it once.
Oh my god, stop.
I'm gonna do that right now.
Oh my god.
Wait, no.
Just make
I'm
sure
on my
it's
screen. I
not
don't
a
wanna stop.
220 line or 210
I don't
line.
wanna
Yeah,
step my
well,
spaceship
that's
down.
the thing. Be careful of the outlet.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like,
You let him
No,
do it.
if you're on 110, you're fine.
One
It's just
You
time
let him
fine.
do it, honest, and then he gets addicted
220,
to it.
yeah, 220, you're in trouble.
what do you mean? Oh, the
Yeah,
voltage.
220
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
220 is like the washing machine and the oven.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it'd be a
Maybe
little
a hot
harder to
tub.
get back there. Hi,
Wait.
Star. Wake up.
Hi.
Did you
Looking
just
down.
see your own
I was
boobs?
reading a comment.
Oh,
You
I
got
was.
distracted by your own cleavage. I
That's
know
what
you.
I saw. I
I
saw
got-
Star getting distracted by her own cleavage.
Oh, now she's
No,
she's
it
lying.
wasn't her
She's-
cleavage.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
an alibi, Star. Just an alibi.
She
Anyways,
was trying to
Hypno
look down her
Hooters.
own shirt.
do you guys
Ta-
see? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get distracted by Star's tatas. But did you guys see a correlation between like the social justice that happened in my motherland country to make it like the correlation that's happening with like other countries right now? Because it's
Nope.
no, okay. Let me
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Let me rephrase this. The whole thing that we were doing on like the president and stuff is because he went to the World Economic Forum and was basically saying, hey, all of these countries that are saying that capitalism doesn't work because there's always some sort of fault. He did the research to actually indicate it actually works perfectly. What doesn't work is all of the hands in the mix taking a piece of the pie. And really the only time that happens is when the government is involved. The president went to the forum and said this in front of everyone. And it's changing the way the entire world is looking at capitalism and the financial market. And this is what everyone's arguing about, how to get laid and how men are the problem and women are the problem when both sides are killing them. I mean, when both sides are kindly unaliving themselves at a preposterous rate. We had the RP rhetoric saying that marriage was at an all-time low for the last 2 years or the last 3 years. Since 2019 to 2022, marriage was at an all-time high. 2023, it went to an all-time low. Not all-time low. It went down a couple points because of the propaganda that we've been spilling. What I'm saying is, if you look at Argentina, they were number 1 in South America. They are now number 7, and they were caught cheating to try to be number 6 last year in regards to economy and everything. The reason they are that low is because of the social justice warriors. And I can't help but eerily see the similarities that are happening in other countries, hypothetically, because, hypotheticals and theories. And I'm saying, and so this whole thing is really like, instead of everyone harping on that, get your money straight. Because if you don't get your money straight, there's not going to be a punani. There's not going to be a PP. You're all going to be slaves. There's not going to be enough for groceries. I mean, hypothetically, theoretically, in a figmental, like, this is all an imagination storybook that I'm writing.
Well,
but at the same time, it's also a problem of purpose, because people are striving for
that's a big
purpose.
one.
And if that's why people are going in and social justice warriors and all these causes, because they're taking the need for a purpose and just latching on to the nearest thing that gives you purpose, and making
it's all
shitty
Marxism
choices.
stuff, dude.
Yeah, making shitty
And
choices is going to cause you shitty problems.
But it's also shallow too, where it's like, that's where they get hung up on the identity thing. It's like, I am this, and that's all I am, and that's all I talk about.
I'm a wolf.
Everything revolves around
It's a false
Yes,
identity.
that stuff.
Just because they don't have
Right.
an identity, they don't have any confidence in themselves, so they latch on the group to give them the confidence they need to survive, basically.
Well, and that's why I on those people, because it's like there's no depth. There's no depth to them whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's I am this thing and nothing more.
You know what's
I mean,
crazy?
I don't know.
is,
Can I swear? Can I cuss?
I don't know.
Or should I?
That's what
I'm
happened
not-
to him.
listen,
He
I'm
just
not
did it
on it.
automatically.
Not too much.
Yes,
Be
minimal.
honest.
Sorry,
I'll be picky and choosy.
I gotta do something real quick, guys. Hey, honest,
All right.
coochie, 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 coo.
Stop it.
Coo.
You know
I
that
see you've traded sides there, huh, Trippy?
Hang it.
Oh,
no, he just
Stop.
he
I
just
only
he
just
just
put my
knows.
hand there for a second.
honestly, that's really cool. That's really cool, little Skeletor.
Hong Kong. Hong Kong.
Hang on a second. There you go. Get you the long one.
I'm
Don,
sorry, but
Don
this
Juan,
is-
I don't know what you're talking about, honey.
This is literally wait, what? I don't know, but this is literally like the star show today because everyone's drooling over you, Bamba.
I tell her that. I tell her people are like, "Hey, you're hot," and she's like, "I'm not," and she ignores it. And
Well,
makes
and
up
what
excuses
do
in
I
her
say?
head
What do
for
I
why
say every time
she's
Star
right,
shows
and-
up? Is like I never met a pretty girl that didn't already know it.
Yeah.
Actually, that's full of shit. Most women think they're ugly, so I think that's the stupidest line I've ever heard in my
pretty
life.
Well,
much.
no, that's some fucking mind games too. Oh, pardon, I forgot that. That's some mind games.
Which part?
Thank you. Stop. Give me a
'Cause they-
balloon.
She wants a balloon. Give her a balloon. No, it's
Thank you.
women
Oh,
are
Thank you.
Sorry, ADD.
I got
Women
a
are-
giraffe for you. There you go.
manipulative.
My favorite.
Uh,
especially,
I'm going the wrong
especially
way.
Guys, can we let him speak?
Focus.
Yes.
but no, women are particularly emotionally manipulative. So that's like, oh, I'm ugly. It's like, oh no, you're not, honey. It's fishing for attention, and
So let's go back.
I think
Let's go back.
that's common knowledge.
Okay, so that's common knowledge for people that don't know any better. So I'm going to help educate you because it's actually hormonal.
Oh, please do.
If you want to talk about women that way, I'm going to say things like I would like to educate you. And I don't mean I'm giving you the same thing that you're giving back to me. So if you say, oh, please do, that's kind of like an invite for my attitude too. And I don't want that. So
I'm literally asking you to do the thing you said you were going to do.
okay, my misunderstanding then. Thank you.
I'm autistic. I'm incredibly literal.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you for telling me that. I know now how to communicate better.
It's not just my name isn't just a gimmick.
I didn't know. Some people do it for a gimmick, but thank you for clarifying. Now I know much better. Okay, cool. Okay, so I do hear what you're saying. There are a lot of women like that, but typically what people forgot was that it's brainwashing on both sides. So while people, it's very complicated. On one thing we should look at first is hormones. When we look at people, everyone wants to argue about feelings. And what I've been deducing it to is if you're autistic, so you're going to like facts. If science, you look at hormones differently. Women have hormones that regulate every 24 hours. Men have hormones that regulate once every hour, meaning if you translate that to emotions, men are able to regulate their emotions through their hormones every hour. Women only do it once every 24 hours. That's why they're a little.
But isn't there something to be said about the social aspect of that too?
Absolutely, and I'm going to get to that too. So it's when you look at them both from that aspect, it's a more clear. Let me move this comment. I'm sorry. And Dr. Cringe, I didn't understand what you meant. So if you could clarify. So when you look at the hormone aspect and you look at people on an emotional level in that aspect, it's actually a very clear picture because you see too often, like the man is like, I'm done with this conversation. I thought we were good after a couple hours. They're like, I was done 3 hours ago.
And one more thing. Let me tell you another thing.
And that's women, but now it's like, no, it's not feelings, it's hormones. The woman cannot, quite literally, she can't let it go. And the reason that that's prevalent in the
So you're saying by nature they're irrational.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And no, I'm saying, and they're not just irrational, also creative. So there's good and not so good on both sides. But that's why we also need men, because men are typically much more logical, but men also lack the emotional creativity, fluffy stuff that make life kind of more interesting and not so boring, if that makes sense.
I don't know that that's entire. I mean, I see what you're getting at, and there's definitely some truth to it. But at the same time, it's
there's more to add.
Men have more of a concept of time and place when it comes to being emotional. Like, we're not going to break down in the moment. We get an
Because
offender
you have-
bender.
Right, but you
We're
have
not going to
hormones.
fall to pieces.
You have hormones that regulate every hour to allow you that capability. And
Well, no, I mean,
also,
but we're
and
also
but also,
raised and conditioned
oh,
to.
and that's what I'm going to next, because the other aspect of that is men are raised and conditioned, just as you said. They're literally told. I tell this to women so that women can understand this, right? A woman like Star, we're told you can do anything, be anything. Someone will always be there. You'll always have help. Literally, whatever you put your mind to will come into. I mean, even in our day and age, it's Delulu is the Salulu. We can be delusional and like create, manifest your life, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're told that our entire lives, and scientifically, the Nobel Prize last year went to the 3 different scientific groups that said our thoughts and beliefs create our reality on a molecular level. So with all of that Delulu, whatever the women are thinking, that's what they've been conditioned socially to believe. The other aspect at the same time is people forget the commercials and how horrible the society was towards women in the 90s, the early 2000s, and prior to that. You need to be skinny and anorexic. Now you need boobs. Now then the BBLs. All these women are putting videos saying how they regret them because they're sick now. They're sick and
It's the most dangerous cosmetic surgery you can have. However, I don't.
Wait,
I
I'm not done with the
really-
men's side, because there's a men's side too.
Okay.
This is the last part, and then I'll let you go on
sorry.
yours.
I'm sorry.
No, it's me. I talk on monologues. Don't worry, it's me. The men.
I'm caffeined up. I'm trying to slow it down now.
Oh,
He's
okay.
all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
I have no more caffeine. The men have literally been told, you are never going to have anyone. You better pick yourself up by your bootstraps. And what it's actually done to the nervous system is that is human beings we're completely avoiding. When you shake up an ant or like a bug or anything, what does it do? It's like fried. That's what we've done to men. We have men's nervous system typically is so fried and in survival mode of you need to not only survive, but also provide and protect. And if you see me doing face readings on men, most men are depleted compared to women. So
how much of that, I think you're onto something there, but how much of that has to do with how much men have been devalued, particularly in the last 10 years? I mean, it's been
an
forever.
Issue. It's been forever.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, the last 50 years for sure, but particularly
what's happened is
it's been accelerated in the last 10 years.
No, what's happened is there's been more propaganda for men to feel like they should be victims, and therefore they become weaker so that this country becomes weaker. Because what's going to happen with the men that can't stand up and can't get themselves up by the bootstraps? They also can't protect me. They can't protect Star. They cannot protect any woman in this hypothetical country. So
what I'm saying by devaluing is the fact that all those things, the providing and the protection and whatnot. Again, this has been going on a lot longer than the last 10 years, but the last 10, it's really accelerated the idea of the strong, independent woman that don't need no man.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
All of that.
I see what you're saying.
Like
yes.
that takes the psychological toll on men, which then affects the hormonal aspect.
Right.
And
so now you see. But now you see, this is
because we're not supposed to be the same.
Right. Not only are you not supposed to be the same, but we're also supposed to value and appreciate each other as opposed to what we've been conditioned to do. Because the boss girl era came from fatherless households, and the women forgot that the boys were also coming from fatherless households, and both reacted differently.
That's got a lot to do with it too.
Both reacted completely different. And that's the thing that we have these women that are like, oh, I don't need a man and all these things because of what they experienced with their own fathers. But when I did the research on understanding, I couldn't understand. I'm like, okay, why did all the men leave their house? Because I'm in the manosphere and it's like, I see nothing but good men. And when I did the research, not nothing, but you know what I mean? I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of sick people. Anyways, but when I did the research, and you'll like this, it's all in stats, right? I don't even argue feelings. I looked at by myself the psychological aspect of men and women unaliving themselves. When women did it, they do it this was what I was reading last year, so it's changed a little bit recently. Women were attempting it 3 times more than men. So it clearly showed, using my psych background, that women were clearly depressed. Men, however, went through with it 70% more than women, and they executed it violently, which told me that they were desperate. And when they did the interview to understand why they did it, the women would stop right before and say, what are they, meaning my family, going to do without me? So that nurturing factor kicked in. And the men, ironically, also said, when they were interviewed, had they survived, why did you try to go through with it? Because they are better off without me, aka the fix it solution, aka that's what men and women do. So when we go back to why do men leave the household, they're trying to fix it. And for women, we don't know that. It has taken so much
85% of divorces are initiated by the wife.
Okay, but if you want to go with that again, I'm going to end the stream with this last question, because then it's going to go on redundant and I got to go to sleep. The 80% of divorces initiated by women has been a part of the brainwashing red pill rhetoric to get married before the age of 30, before your frontal lobe has developed, which is a clear indication of what makes the judgments and also what creates your emotional capacity. So you see women divorcing later on around 30, it's because their frontal lobes have typically developed. The other aspect of it is the hormonal aspect, that both women and men are arguing feelings and semantics instead of understanding the hormone regulations. When you interview people that understand the hormones that are in a marriage, their dialogue completely changes, because they now realize this person's not doing it to me, it's hormones. This is the stuff where it's like, you know what I mean?
It's such a cop out, though. The hormone thing is a cop out, because everyone has them, just like everyone's got one. That only goes so far.
I understand that you may see it that way, but typically most of the population, when I explain this to them, they feel a wave of relief, because they realize, oh, it's not just me. And the hormone is not a cop-out, it's science. It's literally correlated to processing emotions from a neurological aspect. And not
but
to
at what
mention,
point do you take accountability for how you behave and how you act and how you treat people? And
I'm with you.
If I were to turn around as a male and turn around, well, like, I'm just a dickhead because of my hormones, like, that shit don't fly in the world.
Okay, but you're taking it in a negative connotation. The whole reason that I'm bringing this to light is so that people can say, oh, it's the hormones, what's the solution? Not so they can be stupid and be like, oh, I'm just a hormonal bitch, let me be an asshole to you. Like, that's not what I'm saying.
But I mean, you clearly see people using that kind of logic to justify their shitty behavior.
Because I don't associate with them. I don't give a shit about them. What I'm talking about is here with
How
us.
often do you leave the house then?
Not very often.
Because I see it all the time. Why is my camera frozen? Oh,
I don't know. I don't have to leave the house. I have my online friends. Why would I leave the house?
I don't know. Sunshine, fresh air.
I have my dog for sunshine and fresh air. We go for walks.
Well, that would constitute leaving the house.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you're trying to throw out this whole argument like it's null and void, and that's not going to happen. We're arguing science. This is science.
It's null and void. I'm saying that can't be the only deciding factor. It is a factor, but
look at where we've been with men and women arguing. Who else have you been talking to that's talking about the frontal lobe, the hormonal levels, and what a solution is so that we can have a starting point?
It sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Exactly, gobbledygook. It's to talk about the solution, not to give excuses. Because once you actually have the right information, you can build off of that. If you have lies and not the right information, it's like banging your head against the wall. There's no answer. There's no solution.
Well, I think Audis is trying to say that there's got to be people that learn that and then attempt to use the hormone thing as an excuse.
Those are ghetto people. We leave them alone.
There you go.
Everything else in the social justice sphere, they boil it down to this thing, and this is the reason why I'm this way, and avoiding accountability.
You didn't hear me say earlier, the red pill rhetoric has been saying for the last 2-3 years that the marriage was at an all-time low. at an all-time low when in fact it
It's
was
not.
an all-time high. The last
Yeah, it was-
2 years it was at an all-time high when
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
lying. This was propaganda. So this show
Mhm.
is about
What are the
talking
reasons?
about-
What are the reasons for the marriars, though? I mean, are we talking about
here we go. No, we're not going to go
long,
there. We're
long,
not
long
gonna
courtship
focus-
marriages,
we're-
or can I share some personal experience? I got married real young.
We're
right?
we're not doing shared personal experiences because then everyone
Okay.
talks about emotions and their own. We're talking about statistics.
I'm
and we're talking
autistic.
about
I
the
don't
general
have
public.
emotions.
I know, but I'm talking generally with everyone, so it's not just about you. I'm saying for everyone, we try to stick to statistics here and facts and not feelings and not personal experiences because that's where the argument gets muddy, kind of. And we're trying to, like, this channel is for solution.
Who
That's
the fuck
my
is in a
whole
wind
MO.
tunnel?
Sorry. I'll kill the fan. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
But ghetto people, let me just clarify this and then I'm going to cut this because I gotta go. Ghetto people are uneducated people. It's people that don't know any better and they like the girls that come from the ghetto but want to be taken to Ruth's Chris and Morton's on a first date. They've never even been there. They've never even seen plates like that. And it's also like the dude that says he wants a traditional wife but only sleeps with thoughts and 304s. He wouldn't even know what to do with her. You know what I mean? So that's what ghetto people are. You want to stay away from them. They're the kind of people that Starving Autist just said would use what I'm saying as solution of like, hey, these are hormone issues, they're not feeling issues, and they will tell everyone, I'm hormonal. Hormonal is not an excuse for self-regulating your feelings.
Let me interject something because it's when she's trying to say is it's not really just she's trying to use hormones as an example, but what she's trying to say is the difference between how men process and deal with stuff versus women process. And if both sides can understand the differences, then you can find some kind of unity and common ground. That's what she's trying to convey.
And that's kind of where I was trying to go with it, in the fact that, you know, men and women are by definition different. They're supposed to be different. We're not supposed to be equal. We're not supposed to be the same. We're supposed to be complementary.
Yes, and we're incomplete without each other, 100%.
But you look at the society we're in and how that's gone, and what has caused that. That's, you know, the fact that marriage and divorce is, from a legal standpoint, there used to be a stink on it. There used to be a stigma to it, and there isn't
Getting
anymore.
divorced.
We live in a society now where you can meet someone, get married, get divorced, and never actually have to be in the same room with each other.
Yeah.
We've cheapened relationships in general.
We've cheapened humanity in general.
And I think rather than being like, well, it's because of hormones, it's like, no, what have we done to these institutions? What have we changed about the society?
No one said that it's because of hormones. We're just looking at that as a part of the reason that people are against each other. No one said that that's the end of all be all. You're looking in black and white terms, and you got to see that we're just looking at one little piece of the puzzle.
I think you're missing it a little bit, in the sense that, like, the hormones haven't changed. Yes, that's why we're different. That we've established that.
The hormones haven't
What changed? The hormones haven't changed. I mean, how they work and all that, they have not changed. Humans are still humans. Men are still men. Women are still women. And their hormones work the same way as they always have.
Well, I will just insert a little. Keep watching my channel because I'll talk about how they have changed.
Yeah.
One thing real quick is we're in a transition time.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I got to do a hard stop.
Late, huh?
Yeah, I got.
Bye, everybody.
It's dinner time. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Hi, guys.
Yeah,
I hope you guys. Okay. It's. I mean, as soon as he said he was autistic, I really appreciated that because now I knew how to communicate, and what he's saying, I'm not taking personal tonality wise. So I'm sorry again if I did, and I really.
I don't think he'll be mad or nothing.
No, I know, but it's.
And if he is,
respect.
Whatever.
No, it's respect. I appreciate him coming on.
Hey,
Yeah,
Anna,
he's a nice dude.
I come from really old ass people, right? From the turn of the century.
No.
I was raised by 1928, 1934. And so then I can trace my lineage really far back, right? So the reason I'm bringing that up is if maybe off camera sometime we could talk about the differences with men and women then, and then moving forward.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm getting at, but we have to talk about certain. It's going to be like a series for everyone.
Step by
There you
step.
go.
Yeah.
Hey guys, don't forget to watch the channel for the series.
Yeah. Got to subscribe to find out what's going on.
Yeah, and sit in them seats, dang it.
And I'm talking about it every time. It's like we're talking about the frontal lobe development. We're talking about the human anatomy and how it actually functions. We're talking about the fascia and how it moves and the different diseases that you can get in sicknesses that they call other things and whatever. We're going to talk about hormones and how it really does play an impact, because one of the things that society is looking at now is hormone therapy. And a lot of women, I don't know, so I haven't investigated enough about the men's side, but a lot of women are reporting night and day differences. And that's the part where it's like men don't realize, like, I'm a woman and I'm pretty logical, but I will still explain it as best as I can so men can hopefully understand that it's not entirely that we're all snakes. Some of us, a lot of us are just hormonal, but there are snakes. So we're not negating that.
You know, Aldous doesn't know anything about this, so
stuff for men is a little more complicated because if you get the doses wrong, like roid rage is a thing. So you got to be very careful when you mess with testosterone. I'm not saying estrogen's any easier, but
so I shouldn't take a gallon of testosterone.
I knew somebody that that took HGH. It did a lot good. It did a lot good for him, but it also made a little cray cray. So you just got to, and that's anecdotal, I know, but I'm just saying you got to be careful.
Yeah, most women are actually low on progesterone now. Not so much estrogen. Everything is estrogen dominant. And men are. America is the lowest testosterone and sperm count in the world. Period, bar none.
Yeah,
it's because of plastics.
It's all of it. Yeah, all of it.
But I like plastic.
I also wanted
switch
to say
to glass and tin.
There's also a direct correlation between children going through trauma and their hormones being irregular when they're right after that traumatic event. And that's the thing where it's like, that's both men and women. These are children that we're talking about. You know what I mean? And
Relentless.
Anyways, I just appreciate everybody being here, and I love everyone, and welcome to Better Biatches, and like and subscribe and share. Just so everyone knows, this is multi-streaming to Better BB. We're just going to call it BB from now on.
Better Business.
And Better Business, Business number 2, and Abundant Coaches.
Nice.
Anyways, I love you guys. Okay, everyone, have a good day. Okay, bye.
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 Like and subscribe.